All right, Doc's in and talking about food additives, really.
Yeah, so all of these flavorings have tricked our bodies into eating and eating more and more food. So what we think has happened is man-made flavors mimic flavors found in nature and have chemically imprinted cravings onto foods that we normally wouldn't eat, and fooling our bodies into believing that we're getting nutrition that isn't there. So the cravings just won't stop, and we eat and eat and eat. So we are getting the strawberry experience, but not getting the strawberry nutrition. And this has skewed our body's natural mechanism for judging our nutritional needs and wants. So all of these flavorings addict us to eat more and more food, and we're getting less and less nutrition. And, our food is virtually void of nutrition. It's sort of genetically grown, chemically altered, added flavorings, and that's what we're eating. One apple in 1958 had the same vitamin content of 50 apples today.
Oh.
So
Whoa.
we're eating. So what happens?
Why is that?
Well,
fertilizers don't put it back?
Right. Listen, a stalk of broccoli can be absolutely beautiful looking stalk of broccoli and have no vitamin or nutrition content to it because of the depletion of the soil in many cases. They're still growing that in the same fields year after year. So, you can have a beautiful plant that doesn't have the same nutritional content that it used to. So one head of lettuce in 1948, it takes 20 heads of lettuce today to equal the same vitamin content that it did one head of lettuce in 1948. So our food is so grown so fast, and we're so worried about yield and pest resistance that a lot of the flavor and the nutrients are gone out of our food. So they add artificial flavors and flavorings to everything. So our bodies, there's a natural state that connects between what we crave, what we seek out, the taste of our food, and it makes an assumption about the nutritional content that food has based on the flavor, and that's not happening today. So our body assumes that if we taste fruit, we're getting the nutrition of fruit.
Wow.
But we're not. We're eating artificially flavored junk food that tastes like fruit, and our bodies are just totally confused. So is it possible that this is a huge factor in America's obesity problem? I think it's not only possible, I think that it seems very likely that this plays a factor, a significant factor in it. So I was fascinated when I read this. Mm-hmm. Pretty interesting stuff.
So I'm genetically predispositioned, what you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Inclined?
Yes.
Yeah.
Starkest. To want what? I don't know how to say Starkest.
Starkest.
What? How do you say it? It's tuna. The tuna place.
Starkist.
Starkist.
Yeah.
Am I saying it right now?
Yes.
Is he saying it correctly,
Yes.
Deb? Apparently,
Starkest.
I'm saying it wrong. I've said it wrong all of my life. But I'm from the country, and that's
Yeah,
how we roll.
That's it.
But just to clarify, you're saying that my body is going to crave a strawberry.
Right.
Okay? If I eat a strawberry Pop-Tart, I've gotten the taste, but not the nutrition. But my body wants to keep going back to it because it tastes like a strawberry.
And you're not getting the nutrition from it. So
So
your
I keep
body's
going.
totally
I
confused.
keep going back. I keep going back. I keep going back, and my body's saying, "Well, what the hell? What's wrong? It tastes like a strawberry. Why don't I have the nutrition of a strawberry?"
It goes
Right.
back once again to overfed and undernourished.
Right,
doesn't it?
exactly right. Yeah. So I was fascinated by this book.
Well, it makes total sense.
Yeah,
That's why the United States is the largest accumulation of people in the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
The fattest individuals in the world.
I mean, you got to realize we now have 1/3 of Americans obese and 1/3 are overweight. So 2/3 of Americans have a weight problem. So certainly this could be
2 out of 3 Americans have a weight problem.
That's correct. 2 out of 3.
And can I add to that, Dr. Kevin? And it's not just weight, and people think about diabetes and
Absolutely.
other diseases, but it's also what it does to your knees and your
Yeah.
hips and carrying the extra weight.
Absolutely, it does.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So what can we do about this? Well, the first thing is, and it seems like it always comes down to this, doesn't it? Eat real food.
It seems so simple, doesn't it?
That tastes good. Go to your farmers markets that they have here. Those things were grown locally. You're going to get the most flavor out of those. Buy the more expensive tomatoes. They taste better. Buy the more expensive vegetables. You know, we're cheapskates when it comes to our food. You know, we buy the nice clothes. We buy the iPhone 6 Plus. We buy the nicer car. But when it comes to food, we think it should be as cheap as possible. You know, you could feed a whole carload of people at the drive-thru really cheap, but that's not necessarily always the best option. Read the ingredients labels. If you see artificial or natural flavors, it's been engineered by a human in a lab and not by nature. And you're getting the experience of the flavor, but not getting the nutrition that naturally comes with the flavor. And that has skewed our body's ability to know when to eat, what to eat, and when to stop eating. Pretty fascinating stuff.
You know, it sounds fascinating and it sounds complex, but really, if you get right down to the nuts and bolts of it all, it's really basic what we've done.
And you know what else?
It's trickery. We've been tricked by big corporations.
Absolutely.
Commercials.
Yep.
Yep. And flavorings and look what it's done to us as a society.
And it brings me back to one of your earlier topics that you spoke about, the cost of food and the amount of waste.
Yeah.
If you buy the better quality food, you'll be nourished, and you'll probably end up throwing less food away.
Yeah, we
so
throw
the cost is
absolutely. The average American throws 30 to 40% of their food away.
I believe that.
So we throw very little away at our house because we cook what we want, and then we eat leftovers. I'll bring leftovers for lunch, and we save what we use what we buy. So you can spend a little bit more, and just make sure you don't throw a bunch of it out. It makes a huge difference. But you know, the reason that all this stuff tastes like cardboard is because it's grown so fast. The focus is on yield and pest resistance, and they have to add natural flavorings to get us to eat it, and that's part of the big problem with all this. You know, there's a reason that Kraft and Nabisco and General Mills are some of the largest corporations in the world, and this is one of the reasons why we've been duped a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, and so.
But you know what? The companies are just giving us what we want.
Absolutely.
You know, we keep buying it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
that's right. We keep buying it.
Yeah.
But you know, I hope somebody listened to this morning and was a bit educated by it.
Yeah, I hope so.
Because it's not something you think about. It's really not brain surgery. It's really quite simple. We've been duped.
Right. Yeah. Go to your local farmers market. Go to the more natural grocery stores. You know, get the healthier items. Spend just a little bit more on it, and it makes a huge difference.
You probably hear this, and it might sound redundant, and you hear Dr. Kevin, and you say, well, you know what? I know I need to do that, but number one, I don't take the time to. Number one, I like the way, or number two, I like the way Pop-Tarts taste better than a head of lettuce. Or you might say, well, it just costs so doggone much to eat healthy. But what is the cost to feel good and to be healthy and to have energy and to have better skin and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And get off all this blood pressure medicine and all that stuff. That's priceless. To wake up in the morning and feel good, that's priceless. I'm not sure you can even, I think if people really wanted to put down the Pop-Tarts and the Twinkies and all that, I think if they really wanted to, or if they added up how much they really do spend on those things, it's probably much more than you realize. And as Dr. Kevin's just saying, take that budget and put it toward healthy, nutritional food, and you'll eat less because your body's getting the nutrition it needs. You won't want to keep eating. You're going to feel more healthy. You're going to teach your children how to do it. And who knows? You might the $60 and $120 and $200, $300 you're spending on medications every month. You might be able to take that money, get off those drugs, maybe. Take that money and put toward a food budget that allows you to get better food. So, something that we were texting each other earlier this morning, and you said, basically this show, I think, is more important. What you just said is more important than you probably realize. Because it's such a, in radio, sometimes we have these meetings and we have to say really basic things. Just remind these vintage 20, 30, 40-year broadcasters basic things, like press the on button, Sometimes you have to. You just have to.
Is it plugged in?
Is it plugged in? Just really basic. And I think what you just said on the show today is a really, it's really basic information that we need to hear and that we need to go back to. Sometimes that's what it takes to go back to the basics. And one of the points that you made in the show today, I think I'm not sure I thought about it until you brought it up. And that is that we have been duped as a society.
Yep.
We've been tricked. Our bodies have been tricked to like the flavor, and we keep going back for the flavor, but the flavor's not getting us the nutrition. And I never thought, I knew that a Pop-Tart, I'm not picking on Pop-Tarts, but I knew that a Pop-Tart was not healthy. But I had no idea why, other than it tasting good, I didn't know why my body would want to, because I would eat 3 boxes right now if they were in front of me, and not knowing why. Long after I was full, I'd keep eating them because I just loved the taste. But that's where we've been duped. They put the taste in there to get us to keep going back, but the nutrition's not there. And I would never have thought of it that way until you brought it up today on this show. So thank you.
You bet. And I've been there too. I mean, when I was 73 pounds heavier than I am now, I was doing the same thing and just didn't realize it. But now that I've changed my diet for long enough, I never crave any of that junky stuff anymore. I used to. But now I don't even think about that.
You said on one of the shows, like in the last couple of months, you said that if you gave your body 2 weeks, the cravings would go away.
Yeah.
In other words, if you stopped the sugars, the bad stuff, the Twinkies and the cupcakes and the Pop-Tarts, if you stopped that for 2 weeks and got over that hump, your body would settle down with the cravings.
Yep.
True? Am I right?
Very true.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Good show.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Dr. Kevin, Wellness Wednesday, Bryant Wellness Institutes. You got something? By the way, I'm going to say something, and you might say, CJ, don't say that. But I think it's important to say because people gravitate to winners. People gravitate to a winning football team.
Right,
People
right.
gravitate to people who are successful. People gravitate to a winner. Not a loser. You don't gravitate toward a loser. You gravitate toward a winner.
Right.
And right now, your Bryant Wellness Institutes, you have a waiting list of people to get in. And that means you're popular, you're doing the right thing, and you're winning. And I just wanted to say congrats on that.
Oh, good. I appreciate that.
I hope we had something
to
do with that, Deb.
I hope so.
But
So join us on Facebook. We have a lot of these great information, all this information on Facebook. I mean, we always try to post interesting things on there that you can learn about. So definitely join our Facebook page. It's the Bryant Wellness Institutes. We have a lot of this great info on there.
well, you're doing good work.
Good. Thanks,
doing
guys.
Good work. Thank you. 8:38.